Hey everyone, welcome to my kitchen. I am Dana, and behind the camera is my part-time cameraman, part-time grill master, and full-time dishwasher Robbie. And we have Otis and Rocky, who we'll probably hear from at some point this evening. I have orange juice on my glasses because I was squeezing orange juice and it decided to get me. Tonight we are going to be doing one of my favorite things, which is this apricot barbecue sauce. It's really sweet as well as spicy. Now, there is nothing wrong with using a good old bottle of barbecue sauce. I do it all the time, but making your own barbecue sauce is so satisfying, and then you can, make it taste however you want it to taste. My grandfather used to always make his own barbecue sauce, so this is kind of in dedication to him, even though he never made an apricot one. So we're going to start tonight. Oh, you probably want to know what the other things are that we're eating tonight as well. So we are also eating, we're going to do like a cherry onion cobbler. It's a savory cobbler. It's going to have a little sugar in it as a side dish. It's kind of like all about cobbler. I don't know about you, but I love any kind of cobbler. And then we're going to do a broccoli slaw that'll help with the heat of the barbecue sauce, because I'm going to amp it up today. I'm going to put some habaneros in there. And also we're going to do a cobbler for dessert, and it's going to be a peach blueberry cobbler. And Robbie and I earlier today made some homemade ice cream from scratch, so we're going to put that on top of it. So let's start by making our sauce for the chicken that Robbie is going to throw on the grill here in a little bit. And I'm going to put this away because we don't need barbecue sauce in a bottle today. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get some oil and put this in here while I chop up my onions. Because we're going to start cooking those onions down a little bit. So I'm going to let that heat up. While I chop an onion real quick, you're going to want to have like a medium to small to medium onion for this. How's everybody doing today? You doing good? It is hot here in Texas. I think, didn't you say the heat index was like 106, Robbie?
Around there, yeah. It's pretty hot.
Pretty hot. Pretty hot. You guys are quiet. All right. And I have my trash bowl over here, which I remembered today. All right. So I'm just going to real quick dice this up. I didn't prep any of the stuff other than the orange juice, so you guys will get to see me doing everything. And also there are onions flying everywhere. Is that better? More light? It's better for me. I can see what I'm doing. And hey, guess what? I remembered to turn on the ovens too for all the stuff we're going to be cooking in the ovens. That's unusual.
Already winning.
I'm already ahead of the game. All right. Why are my onions flying everywhere? It's kind of crazy today.
Hopefully I won't forget to turn on the grill and then wonder why it's not done later.
It's a little easier to tell if you've got the grill, all right?
I don't know. It's pretty hot out there.
Oh, see, look, I already got this out. About to put that in the trash. That's not good.
No,
put those in here.
You need those.
I'm going to tell you what, it's been kind of a crazy thing. I've had one of those weeks, I don't know about you guys, but I've had one of those weeks where I thought I signed up for something, showed up, hadn't signed up for something. Poor Robbie yesterday went to the grocery store with me, and as we're going to the grocery store, I'm like, where's the grocery list? So we had to come all the way home and get it. It's been one of those weeks for me. while that is going, I'm gonna get some garlic here, because that's gonna go in. That's gonna go in next along with the chilies. Now what I have here is way too much chili for this, but we're gonna use this, which is a Fresno, which is kind of like a jalapeno, except it's red. And then we're gonna use a habanero. And I'm hoping you guys will help me not put my fingers in my eyes today. I don't know how you're gonna help me with that. I just ask that you do. All right, and we're also gonna do 4 cloves of garlic in here. I'm not too concerned about getting all the cuts even for this, because once it's done cooking, we're going to throw it into the blender. So, I don't know. No, okay. I just want to make sure you guys, I was getting what you guys were saying. And there is Rocky as an emote. He didn't know he was so famous. He's over there chewing on a bone. And there's 2 Rockies, yay! So Robbie, just to make sure they had a little less. Why is there a purple grummy emote? Because, you know, we just thought we'd stick with the whole dog theme for emotes to start with. But I think now there's a steak emote too. So now we'll move into food and other stuff. But yeah, so hi Venom Rex and hi Brenaire. Thanks for being here today. So what I was saying is I'm not too concerned about getting this super even, these cuts, because we're going to stick it in the blender when it's all done cooking, so that we don't have a chunky barbecue sauce, because who wants a chunky barbecue sauce? But Robbie took the dogs out for a walk, and we usually take them about a little over a mile on their walk, which is around the neighborhood, and then there's a park at the other end, and we take them around the park. But it was so hot, Robbie went 2 blocks, and the 2 of them came into the house and literally just collapsed on the floor, and Robbie got the evil eye from Rocky.
How dare you take me on a walk?
How dare you take me on a walk, even though he was begging to go for a walk.
But maybe they'll be quiet. Maybe.
That would be nice. Rocky has been quite vocal the last few days. But he slept in today, which was good. And by sleeping in, I mean by 15 minutes. So I got to get up at 6:15 this morning instead of before 6.
It's very generous of him.
It was very generous of him. All right. Got those going. I'm going to stick the garlic in there. I love garlic. So I used to live up in Rochester, New York. And there was this restaurant there called Country Sweet that served buffalo wings. And it was so good. It had a really sweet, spicy sauce on it. Not quite what you get in most places as far as typical buffalo wings. And I could never find, we used to buy these just gigantic jugs of the sauce to bring back wherever we were living. And this finally, when I made this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so very close to the Country Sweet kind of flavor to it. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's perfect. We're going to be doing it on chicken thighs, and I have bone in and the skins on.
Ooh. Don't touch your face.
Thank you.
Especially after the next one.
Yeah. So the other thing Robbie and I did yesterday is we bought the ice cream attachment for the KitchenAid, which is probably a mistake, but because we love ice cream, and I never thought I'd meet somebody who loved ice cream more than me, and then I met Robbie.
I like it a lot, yeah. It's pretty good. It doesn't help that at my grandmother's, we would have it every single night before bed.
I used to have it too when I was growing up, and we would have these just gigantic bowls of it.
There was always ice cream there.
All right, let's get these peppers cut up. Remember, don't touch your face with your fingers, Dana, because you've been cutting habaneros. If I do touch my eyes after cutting these, I will cry. I'm really pretty sure of that.
Usually that happens when you wait to eat them.
I know, but I would rather eat a habanero than stick my finger in my eye with habanero on my finger. Have any of you guys ever stuck your fingers like in your eyes after you've been cutting something like peppers? Because
I mean, I have.
Huh?
I have. It's
You
not
have?
fun.
No, it's not fun. Alright. I need to get these in here so they can saute. So I got an ambitious menu today. I don't know, I got on a cobbler kick. I was looking through my recipes and like, ooh, I'm gonna make cherry tomato cobbler. Mainly because I had a bunch left. I have a bunch from my garden. This, of course, needed more than that, but. And then Robbie and I went out to dinner about a week ago, and we had peach cobbler because peaches are in season. It was so good. And the secret that he had, because I was like, what is that flavor? And the chef came out and talked to me, and he's like, it is Riesling wine. So I was like, well, now we have to try that. All right. Now I'm gonna put this in.
I'm curious to see if we can make it taste the same.
Taste the same? Well, it's not gonna taste exactly the same because that was just peach, and I'm putting blueberries in it.
But they'll have that same Riesling.
That kind of bright,
It was
acidity
really good.
at the end of it, the flavor. Yeah, that was really good. All right, I'm gonna let that sit.
It still got you.
Woo. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. Well, not real quick. I'm gonna try to very thoroughly wash my hands here. Not that that does me any good. Phenomena. What I'm excited about is, it's already next week, isn't it? Kelsey will be here cooking with me next week.
What?
What? I think she knows that since she's coming in on a Thursday that she's going to be here, but that'll be fun. All right. I know Fallen Age. What? It's awesome. Okay. So the next thing you need when you're making this barbecue sausage, you need a 13-ounce-ish thing of apricot preserves or apricot jelly. And then we're going to put that in there. The whole thing.
Well, that was easy.
That was a lot easier than the jars I usually get.
Or having to measure.
Oh my gosh, I gotta tell you, that really got me. And we're gonna kind of melt it down so it becomes more liquidy. As I cook it, it'll become, less jelly-like and more liquidy. And so while that is happening, I'm gonna get the rest of the stuff that needs to go in there. So we need half a cup of OJ. We're gonna need half a cup of ketchup. And I like to put it in this thing because it's hard to get out of measuring cups. All right, and we're gonna need vinegar, and we're gonna need Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire. All right. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. It's all, see how it's like, it's not like jelly anymore. It's all melted. It's all melted in there. I'm gonna put some OJ. Put that ketchup. I think I need a 1/4 cup of mustard. Is that right? I have to cheat. No, I don't even need that much. Okay, I need vinegar. That's what I need next. A 1/4 cup of vinegar. I'm using apple cider vinegar. And I do think it matters if you get a good apple cider vinegar versus a cheap apple cider vinegar. I think it makes a difference. That may just be in my head, but I buy good apple cider vinegar.
I appreciate it.
You appreciate it? All right. So one of my goals tonight is to not look like this is a gigantic mess over here as it usually does. It might look like a mess in another part of my kitchen, but that's okay. It's gonna be a part hopefully you can't see. All right, so I need 2 tablespoons of Dijon. This is honey too. Can't remember if I put honey. Oh,
Brand new?
brand new. Hasn't even been opened yet. And I can never get, oh, there we go.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. You guys are super quiet.
They're in awe of your
They're in
cooking.
awe. That's okay.
Or the thought of ice cream was too exciting. And
Hi, Rachel Angel.
Hi, Rachel.
Good to see you here. Oh, I need 2 tablespoons of this. Let's put the second one in there. And I don't have the honey out. Put this over here. And then I need a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And I love adding Worcestershire sauce to savory stuff. All right. Now we're gonna let that cook. I'm gonna go grab the honey and put a little bit in here, but I don't know. It's got that apricot preserves in there. It seems like that's overkill to me. It really does seem like overkill. Okay. I'm gonna get this up. But we'll put a little in there just in case it's for the flavor. There we go. All right. Get going. I'm impatient. Get moving. It already smells so good. Can you smell it from there or no, not yet?
No, not yet.
You will. So while that's going, what we're going to do is get the chicken tossed in some paprika, salt, and pepper. And what Robbie's going to do when we get started, he's like, who, me?
I heard my name.
He's going to get the grill going in a little bit here, and he's going to cook the chicken most of the way. And then when it's almost done cooking or it's right at that temperature, he's going to put this on as a glaze and kind of get it all caramelized-y on there. I don't know if that's a word.
Totally a word.
Probably not, but I like made-up words, so we're going to go with it. And there you go. All right, chicken. I have some really nice bone-in, skin-on chicken breast. Not chicken breast, I'm sorry, chicken thighs. And I think I've said this before, but I like chicken thighs because they, it's hard to overcook them. You can overcook them, but they're pretty forgiving when it comes to that.
Challenge
So,
accepted.
Challenge accepted. You're hopefully.
No. I'll do my best.
Okay. All right. Let me wash my hands again. I was just handling chicken. Well, because everybody wants to watch me wash my hands.
Yes, they do.
I mean, there's very pretty flowers over here, so there's that. Now, the recipe that I usually cook calls for 16 chicken thighs. We're only doing 8, but I'm making the same amount of sauce because the sauce will actually stay in the refrigerator really well for a couple of weeks. And so we usually have this 2 times in a row in a couple of weeks because of that. And that's nice because then if you're in a hurry, you've already got this barbecue sauce made. And I hate to call it, I feel like it's more of a barbecue glaze than it is like a true barbecue sauce. Robbie's like, ooh.
Does it taste good?
Well, yeah, you've had it before.
Well, I'm on
Okay.
board then. Either way.
So I'm going to put some paprika in here. And I am using just a Hungarian sweet. But you could use, if you want a little bit of a smoky flavor, you could use smoked paprika. I don't know what that face was that I was making. There we go. Now it's cooking. But I think because this is a sweet and spicy thing, I prefer the sweet paprika myself. And salt it. Robbie's looking at me like, that much salt. Some fresh ground pepper. So what's everybody been up to this weekend? Anything fun? I'm gonna toss the chicken in here.
Don't throw it on the floor.
I'm trying to get it everywhere. All right. That's a workout. Nobody's doing anything fun? Nobody did anything fun over the weekend or interesting? What did we do?
And that's half the recipe?
This is half the recipe. Yep. So these will be ready to go on the grill.
And we went out and found some really good barbecue.
That's right. We went to this little place on Friday, kind of a little hole-in-the-wall barbecue place. Nothing fancy. You find those all over Texas, but this was really very good. It was called Sullivan's Barbecue in Louisville. Except what does the sign on top of the building say? It says something else barbecue.
Like old-fashioned barbecue or
Something like that. Yeah. And they had some live music, so it was nice, kind of getting back to normal a little bit to do that.
And the service was outstanding. That was unbelievable.
We went to when we were ordering our food, and you go up and order it, and they bring it to you. The person said, "Would you like water, soda, or free beer?"
It's like, wait, say that
Excuse
again?
me? What? So, yep. Yard work, nothing fun. Watching This Is Proof. Thank you, gamer. Crafty gamer. You just got back from a weekend in Chicago. Awesome. I love Chicago. That is fun. Rachel went to a picnic in the park.
Thanks for following, Becca Lee.
Thanks for following, Becca Lee. It didn't show up on my thing, so I have to count on Robbie to tell me these things.
Kelsey's in the chat.
Kelsey, hi. I'm excited. You're going to be cooking with me on Thursday. Woohoo!
In case you didn't know that already.
She's got plenty of time. She gets here in the morning.
She's going
Oh,
to
Kelsey's
Chicago.
about to go to Chicago. All right. I'm going to let this cool a little bit because I don't like to put it in the blender when it's this hot. That would be very hot. So while I'm letting this cool down a little bit before we put it in the blender, I'm going to go ahead and start the cherry tomato onion cobbler. And so I know I've already chopped up one onion. I'm going to go chop up another onion. Now, I would say you can use 2 small onions or 1 really big onion, and I'm using sweet onions. So, hi Becca Lee. Yes, I know Kelsey will be here for both the Thursday and the Sunday stream, so that'll be fun. And I know for Thursday's stream we're doing oven brisket and baked beans. And I want to know from you guys, we made vanilla ice cream because it was our first time making ice cream this way. But I kind of am interested in what would you guys like to see, what kind of ice cream, because I have a feeling it might be a regular dessert around here. And then Kelsey can help make that too. So hi Aladdin's girl, good to see ya. Good to see ya. Thanks for coming. For all of you who just got in here in the last couple of minutes, here's what we are making tonight. We are doing chicken thighs on the grill, and I have made a homemade apricot glaze, and it has Fresno chilies in it as well as habaneros, so it's going to be both sweet and spicy. Right now I'm going to start working on a cherry cobbler, so it is a mostly savory side dish. We've got broccoli slaw coming up, which is super simple. That's one of those things like, I need to have another side, what can I make? And then we're going to do a peach and blueberry cobbler that's got some Riesling wine in it. And then vanilla ice cream that we made. So it was really good. So root beer float ice cream or Dr. Pepper ice cream.
Rum raisin.
Oh, Lilise says she loves tomato cobbler. So you've had it, see, because every time I make this, people are like, I've never heard of such a thing.
Like me?
Like you. Like Robbie. All right. So I'm going to chop up this, what is this? This is an onion.
I don't think it's a tomato or a potato. Let's go with onion.
It's one of those days. Weeks. One of those weeks. Oh, I know what I need to do first. First, I'm going to start, while I'm doing this, not first because I've already started. I'm going to get some butter melted in the pan along with some olive oil. So here's something, when you're caramelizing something like onions, you can do it with olive oil. I always like to put a little bit of butter in there as well. I think that the butter flavor, like, well, I love butter. That's how I keep my girlish figure. And I'm also going to do a tablespoon of olive oil. Let's get that going. So let's see here. Oh, you made it after I did it last time. Oh, that's awesome. I used to, well, I didn't used to, I still do. I still do it. I post pictures online of the stuff I cook, and a lot of people are asking me for recipes, which is one of the things that had me start doing this. I was already posting pictures and recipes, so why not? Why not do it? For you cobblers, sweet Aladdin's Girl, it has a little bit of a sweetness to it just because I'm using cherry tomatoes, which are kind of sweet, and then there's caramelized onions, but it still leans to the savory side, and it's just really a great, I forgot to do this the other way. See what happens when I'm trying to talk and chop at the same time. It's okay. I'm going to make it work. All right, now I'll come back and do this. There's gonna be a lot of chopping from me today. And if you're just coming in, I am attempting to not make gigantic messes like I normally do. All right. So, I've got over here, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to use this pan to put the whole cobbler in the oven when it's done. I love working with cast iron. It takes a while to get heated up, but it's awesome once it does. So we're going to stick that in there. And then we're going to get the recipe. Typically when I do this, I do this take this out of this pan. Oh, you don't want that. And then do the tomatoes, put them in the oven. But today I'm going to put them on a baking sheet and stick them in the oven with some olive oil to kind of blister and get ready for the cobbler. And then Robbie's going to start the grill.
But not now.
But not quite yet.
Okay.
Because you said it's already clean, right?
It's ready to go.
It's ready to go. All right. So it's taken a while for the cast iron pan to get hot. It's funny that it's called a cherry tomato cobbler because it's got so much onion in it. That's why I played around with the recipe a little bit and then call it cherry tomato onion cobbler. All right, so tomatoes are going into the oven. I have, and what I did too, this time I decided to try something different. I do have some cherry tomatoes in here, but I also have these nice San Marzino tomatoes as well. But I do want to get the cherry tomatoes because a lot of those are from the garden. We probably don't need the stems. Since those need to get eaten. But you could also chop up tomatoes and roast them in the oven and do that. If you've got like a good harvest, because I know a lot of people garden, whatever tomatoes you've got, you can do this with. All right. All right, that should be enough. And I am going to do some olive oil. And I have a stalker behind me who is looking for food. Get down. Good dog.
You were hiding it.
Mm-hmm. I know he's there. I can see it. So get that. And I've got the oven started. It's always nice when I remember to do that. And remember to turn the timer on. Look. Woohoo! 0 for 2. I mean, 2 for 2. It's going to be back through the screen.
Do you make fried okra?
I have never made fried okra. That sounds like something I should try sometime. Well, Aladdin's Girl, what we're making tonight on top of the cherry tomato cobbler, we're also going to make a peach and blueberry cobbler, so we've got that coming up. So, yeah, Robbie's got to go out in the heat, but the grill is probably already at 375 without him even turning it on.
Pretty close.
Yeah. So, but on Thursday we're going to be doing an oven brisket. In case you don't have a grill or you don't have time for a grill, this is something my mom used to make all the time, and I used to make all the time when I had people coming over and I didn't have time to sit in the kitchen and make a bunch of food, because you just kind of stick it in the oven and let it cook. And we're going to do some baked beans from scratch rather than out of a can. That's what I remember right now. I don't remember what else. I think there's a vegetable gratin in that one. But I'll post it so you guys know. And then some sort of ice cream. And maybe something else with it. I don't know. Haven't gotten that far yet.
Lots of time.
Lots of time. Not really. Not really. Not really. But it's all good. Okay. So this is going. This is cooled down at least a little bit. I'm going to put that in the blender over here behind me so you get to see my backside. While I'm letting this go a little bit more. Have you ever watched like the cooking shows and you see the chef with the thing on the top when they're blending things? I finally figured out why that was. It's because it's very hot when you are trying to blend things in here, and the steam will get you.
Hi.
Hi. There we go. You see those little bits of the peppers in there? That's the good stuff. All right. Put that on top. It even kind of looks like country sweet sauce, because country sweet sauce was kind of this color with the little red flecks in it. That I was giving it to you to smell.
Oh, they can't smell it. They can only see it.
Oh, no smell edition.
Oh, yes.
It's spicy.
Spicy. Smell at your own risk.
All right. You don't need that yet, but when you do, I've got that for you. And we'll give you some of that in there for when you're ready. And the rest of this we'll hang on to and serve with the chicken. All right, so while this is going and the tomatoes are going, let's start mixing all the dry ingredients for the cobbler together for this one. And since Aladdin's girl isn't eating it with us, it's all for us. Okay, what did I do with my bowl? There it is. All right. So for this, I need to get flour and baking soda out. If you have it. I'm conducting So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I've got to get some cheddar cheese, and I need about a quarter of a cup of that. Do I make catfish and hush puppies? I haven't yet. That could be, well, catfish I've done. If I've done hush puppies, it was a very long time ago. It hasn't been any time recently. I'm more Mexican food and German food. Alright. Let's get some cheddar cheese grated. You love tomato and onion sandwiches. That's interesting. Is Rocky behind me following it? Oh, there he is right there. He heard cheese. You know, this is over here too. They are not getting anything while they're baking. All right. Blackened or fried? I've done both. I've done both with catfish. You need to try this cobbler. I'm telling you, if you like onions and tomatoes, this cobbler is really awesome.
I'm excited to try it.
You've had it.
I have?
Yes, and you loved it. You even took half of it
Well,
to your house.
that's good to hear that I loved it. What was that about keeping the station clean today?
It's okay. I'm just hanging my head in shame.
It's all right. But I don't think any of it got onto the floor. The
Dogs are still behind me.
They're very sad. So close.
I think that they're trying to mess me up here. I think this is them. They put some sort of spell on me.
Witchcraft.
Yeah. I don't know how that has anything to do with the grocery store and me forgetting the grocery list.
They're just that clever.
I'm surprised with me being this way. You didn't want to drive to the grocery store.
You know, I drive a lot.
You like tomato on bread with bacon and mayo, no onion. That's also delicious. Delicious. I love that too. But again, if you caramelize some onions, I'm all for it. This is a little too hot. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. They're starting to brown in a way that I don't want them to. All right, now I'm going to make my dough. And what I need for that is I need 3/4 of a cup of flour, and I have the measuring cups out. Do you see them in here? Did I hide them? Did I lose them? Did I not pull them out? That may explain it.
They were hiding in the drawer where they're kept?
Yes, yes.
How dare they?
I know.
Very
How dare they? Oh, you know what? That's sugar, not flour.
Thank goodness for labels. But assuming they're labeled correctly.
Everything is labeled correctly in my pantry. For sure. What kind of cheese am I grating? Great question. Just plain old cheddar cheese. And I'm using a sharp cheddar cheese because I think in this kind of thing, using mild cheddar just doesn't give you a whole lot of flavor. All right, so I need 3/4 of a cup of flour for this. And then I need 1/4 of a cup of cornmeal. And this was another one of those things that I pulled this out and I was like, do I have enough? And I do. That was my exact measurement. You know what, you can go ahead and turn that off. There's enough heat for that. All right, and I can't put this away because I am going to need that in a minute. I need baking powder. I need 1 1/4 teaspoons. Do you like, it always drives me nuts when they're like 1 1/4 or 1 1/8. Man, I have the right sizes now. Or I can do that. But 1 1/4. And when I'm baking, that is the one time I really am persnickety on measurements because it'll come out wrong if it's not measured right. And then we need some salt. And I'm just going to keep that over here because I'm going to need it for several other things. And then I need 1/4 cup of butter. So if you don't know, it is 4 tablespoons is a 1/4 of a cup. So a stick of butter is a 1/2 cup of butter. Where's it going? And I'm gonna let that sit there for a second. Bowl.
Your trash bowl's behind you.
It's behind me. I got it. I got it. I got it. And then this, I need to add a tablespoon of brown sugar too. And kind of stir that in. And my tablespoon has mustard on it. Now, Worcestershire, we probably don't want that in a cobbler.
No?
I mean, maybe we do. I don't know. But I definitely don't want it in my brown sugar. How's that?
Okay.
And this pan is still hot, so it'll melt all over my tomatoes and really give them that sweet caramelized flavors. Again, you want me to eat something, put some caramelized onions on it. And I think I said tomatoes, but I meant onions, because words. It's just a good thing I don't need words for a living, right? Not for stream.
Yeah,
Not being a therapist.
not important at all.
pastry cutter here. And if you want to make this easier on you than I'm about to make this on myself, cut your butter up into little chunks and then work it into the dough. Or work it into the flour so you make a dough. I'm going to have Robbie come on over to the oven here in a second, and we're going to take a look and see how the tomatoes are doing in the oven. And again, you can do the onions, take the onions out of this pan, throw the tomatoes in here, and then throw that in the oven to cook, and then add the onions back in when they're done. But we're doing it the opposite way. See how I made this? I'm doing this the hard way. You could also put this in the food processor if you wanted to. I think it's much better, like if I'm making pie dough or anything like that, pie crust, I think it's better to use really cold butter, a little cold water, and all of that to make that good. But I have been known to use the food processor when I'm running out of time.
It's pretty handy.
Mm-hmm. All right. So now I need to add some milk into here. If you can see, it's kind of, the butter's kind of been mixed in. It's in the little bitty pieces in here. We could do it longer so that it's a real even amount in there, which would be even better. But now what we're going to do is we're going to put some milk in there. That is also new. Oops. And this calls for 1/2 cup of milk. Oops. Get that ready. Probably better to do that part with a spoon. Ooh, you want to grab the camera so we can see what they look like?
So I turn off
You want to turn
the fun little noise thing first.
the fun little noise thing.
Yeah, words.
Words.
You're contagious.
That's just not good. Nobody needs to be inside my head, and that's just scary. When my clients say to me, they say, "Oh, you were in my head," I'm like, "Oh, sorry about that." Okay. All right, let's take a look.
Hey,
Let's see how they do.
give his.
You have all that time to get ready. Ooh. See, I'm gonna let them in there a couple minutes more because not all of them have blistered. I still have a few. Maybe they have.
We'll just leave this in there. It's fine.
Just leave that in there?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll just leave the camera in there.
Bad idea. All right, I'll take them out. All right, and then I'm gonna turn that down. Because I'm remembering to do things today. Even if I can't talk. See, I think that's the thing. I can either talk or I can remember to do things. Who knows? So that looks good. How are the kimchi pancakes? I haven't tried making the kimchi pancakes yet because we still have potato pancakes. I'll try those at some point. Because I have kimchi in the refrigerator. You guys should probably just help me with words tonight because apparently that's just not going to work for me.
And you didn't even prepare a beverage to start. This is just,
I know, this is just me.
This is just you.
Unadulterated Dana. All right. So these are very juicy tomatoes, and I am trying to keep a lot of that juice out of this pan, even though it would still be good. Because if I were doing it the other way, I'd be adding the onions to this. I'm going to pour some of that out. I can dump the rest of these in here. That'll be a little faster. Ta-da! So that's just the base of it, right? It's just tomatoes and caramelized onions, which in and of itself is very good. I'm actually going to add a little salt to it because I think that's what I remember from when I made it. It needed a little more salt. I also have some oregano. Thank you, Crafty Gamer. I hope this turns out as good as it has in the past. All right, I'm going to be adding some oregano in there. This came out of my garden. I'm going to be adding about 2 tablespoons in here and stirring it in. If you're using dried, just remember you probably want half that, at least, because dried is way more concentrated than fresh is. So if you're doing this with dried, use about a tablespoon. All right, now I'm gonna put my cheese in my dough here. All right, and I've got this nice dough to put on top. I've had a lot of people go, ew, tomatoes and a cobbler. And it's like, you just don't know until you try it. You know what else would be good? You could throw, if you want to make it even more savory, you could probably throw some bacon or pancetta or guanciale in there. You could change up the herbs. If you want to make it more Italian, you could throw some basil in there. I'm just going to drop this on the top. So it's not going in, you know, like sometimes with cobbler, it's like a smooth top of it. This is not that. This is kind of dropped in on just in big chunks. You could use a different cheese if you wanted to. So just play with it. Like I said, like I always said, play with the food, play with flavors that you really like, try new flavors. Could probably make this more Greek. The oregano I'm using is actually Greek oregano.
Kelsey asked what you're making when she's in town.
What am I making? So we're going to do oven brisket on Thursday, and you can help me decide what the dessert's going to be.
Are you not off by a week? Or am I crazy? Is it already this Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, I'm off by a week. I'm sorry. Kelsey comes in the week after that. No, you're right.
Thought I'd double check. It's been a long month already.
Kelsey, I don't know what I'm making when you're here.
The suggestion so far has been tacos because nobody hates tacos.
I want to say it's arebas. So not tacos, but corn griddle cakes with some pork on the top. So that is also a Mexican food. I'll look at my cheat sheet in a second, and I'll tell you. This Thursday is brisket. When Kelsey is in town, it's something else. I don't know what it is. Okay. This is going to go into the oven now. You know what that means? That you're going to go start the grill?
Oh. That.
I mean, you can watch me put this in the oven if you want.
Too late.
All right. This is going into a 350 degree oven for about 20 minutes. So, there's that. I'm not putting the brown sugar away because I think it's in 2 more things.
Oh, look at that. We were off camera and there's a puppy.
There's a puppy?
Trying to steal the cheese.
Were you trying to steal the cheese? All right.
Boy, he's good. How does he know that?
Because he's, you know, Rocky.
Half raptor.
He is half raptor. Look at all of that. Okay. I love biscuit dough. And you know what? I just put that in my mouth. I can still taste that.
I'm going to move this closer to you. And start the grill. Oh, there it goes.
Okay. All right. So let me clean up because that's my goal today. My goal today is to be clean. Johnny cakes with cracklins are good. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Kelsey. You're in town the week after this one. It's been a few days for me of not getting anything right. I even took Rocky to a class that I thought I had signed him up for. I put it in my calendar. We show up and they're like, "You're not signed up." All right. And let me clean all of this up, and then we're going to start on our cobbler. Oh, this cobbler, this is supposed to be in an oven at 400. I jumped the gun there. So we're going to make the peach cobbler because that takes a little bit longer to cook. But let me clean my cutting board real quick. Or actually, I may just go get another cutting board. Robbie's going to play with his new thermometer again. Or try. Oh, that's a little cutting board.
There's one behind the knives.
Oh, there it is. That was in hiding.
Well,
I was looking for that. All right, I'm going to clean this off too. But don't worry, there's still just as many dishes for Robbie to do as normal. So even though I'm trying to stay cleaner, it doesn't mean less dishes for my dishwasher. So, born and raised in Tennessee, but never liked peaches. Well, I think you said earlier you like a berry cobbler. This is peach blueberry. And not everybody's gotta like it. All right. I need you to move. In my way. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is start with the base for the cobbler, which is going to be the Riesling, and it's going to be some brown sugar, I believe, is what goes with that. Yep. I always have Riesling around because I have a few friends who are like the sweet wines. I've had a few Rieslings and Moscatos I like, but they tend to be a little bit on the drier side. You guys like that? You love peaches? Oh yeah, fruit is just, yeah. All right, so we're gonna put a cup of wine in here. And I'll probably use a smaller pot, except it's dirty because my dishwasher hasn't gotten to work yet. I don't know what's happening. My grill master's working, but my dishwasher is just, what did you just do?
All
right.
Almost like they're the same.
Half a cup of sugar. I did have the sugar out. Where did I put it? Go back here. I'm still not as organized as I'd like to be. Trying to keep up with you guys. You brought a bag of tiny peaches the other day. It was a bad idea to eat 3 peaches. Did you have a stomach ache or something?
Keep it down.
Why are you washing dishes right now?
What?
He loves me. It's all good. All right.
I'm just not sure which side of the conversation you were getting about. Not doing them or doing them.
Oh, I was joking. You don't have to do dishes right now. All right. My least favorite part about this is peeling the peaches and trying to get them away from the pit. I like to try and look for Freestone peaches because I'm lazy, but there were none in the store. So we're going to try and do this. You got tummy ache? I'm sorry. Some fruits make your mouth itch, huh? Aladdin's girl? I don't have that problem. I don't really think there's a fruit I don't like either. I'll tell you what are not my favorite things in the world. I'm not a big fan of lima beans. I don't like their texture. I don't mind the flavor so much, but I don't really like the texture. I like the flavor of coconut. I don't like the texture of coconut.
Same.
And I'm not a big fan of sea urchin. But I'm willing to try it again. But I remember going out to dinner with a friend of mine out of town, and he said it was actually Kelsey and I's hairstylist, and he had moved. And we went out and got sushi, and he said, "You are going to love sea urchin. I'm going to order some for us." And I was like, "Okay." And he goes, "It tastes like the ocean air." And I said, "You need to work on how you sell people on that." That's not really sounding very appetizing to me. And I tried it, and he said, "Don't you just love it?" I said, "I'll tell you what it tastes like. It tastes like you're going to be enjoying a lot of sea urchin tonight." So, I don't know about you guys. Do you like uni? You love coconut. I like the flavor. I don't like the texture. Although I have had a couple of coconut cakes where the texture didn't bother me that much. And I like it in my pina coladas.
I don't mind it as much as I used to.
Really?
I still like the flavor. Yeah, the texture is a little different.
Mm-hmm. But I do hate peeling peaches because they don't peel as easy as like apple. You can't really use a peeler for peaches. You kind of have to do them this way. If anybody has a better way to do this, I am all ears.
It sounds like you need a peach peeler guy.
So, Kelsey, you've never had sea urchin? You've never had uni, as much sushi and stuff as you eat? That is surprising to me. That is very surprising. Well, I won't be making it for you, so you won't be trying it here. What about the rest of you? Do you guys have things like Crafty Gamers? There's something that you are just like, no, not eating that, don't like it. I used to, when I was out in the dating world, the guys would be like, "What do you like to eat?" And I said, "I really like everything except for lima beans and sea urchins. So as long as you don't go to Lima Beans R Us as a restaurant, we're probably okay." I know you've never taken me to Lima Beans R Us, so we're good. And what was bad about that is that my dad loved lima beans. He loved succotash. So he loved lima beans and corn together, so we had it all the time. And I was like, eat it, get it over with. So you'll pass on natto and maybe liver. You actually used to eat liver, so we used to eat it in the Braunschweiger sandwiches.
How do you feel about beets and watermelon?
How do I feel about beets and watermelon? I like beets. I do not love watermelon the same way other people do, but beets, depending on how they're prepared, because we ate a lot of that when I was growing up too. All right, so my wine and my sugar here, they have, the sugar's dissolved into the wine. So now I need to get these cut really fast so they can get in there and simmer a little bit. And like I said, I think these are super hard to get away from the pit. And this one's not very ripe, so the other ones are. But I need 3 peaches. So there we go. You don't see sea urchin in Green Bay. It's not probably fresh if you do see it there. That would be my guess.
Oh, should I put the chicken on the grill?
You should probably put the chicken on the grill. allergies, food allergies are the worst.
There's the dogs all following.
I had a friend and he had a card on him that had his green, yellow, and red foods. And avocado was on there, and we're in Texas, and so he was eating something with a green sauce, and he was like, "This is delicious," and he's like, "I don't feel so good." Or also he was allergic to chocolate, so he got the peanut butter cup shake somewhere, and I didn't know him that well at that point. And after he had eaten about half of the shake, he was like, "Do you suppose this has chocolate in it? Because I'm not feeling very well." I said, "Yeah, it's a peanut butter cup. Of course it's got chocolate in it." He goes, "Well, no wonder I liked it." Love peaches. You would love this cobbler. So good. And it's the peach time of year. And don't cut your peaches this way. I hate cutting peaches, and so I'm just not good at it, and I really need to practice. Because these are all uneven. But you know what? It's still going to taste delicious. I'm just not going to feed it to, a famous chef. Not that they come over to my house at all. Let's get some more over there. Yeah, I don't know where those are. Okay, so we're going to stick those in here, and I'm going to actually put some blueberries in here too. So this recipe calls for a whole cup of blueberries, but I'm only going to put about a quarter of a cup of blueberries in here with this, and it'll pick up all those nice acidic wine notes. Hey. Huh?
I said, hey.
I was talking to him.
Oh.
Rocky is, one of his favorite things to do now is to wrap his leash or lead around your feet and like take you down like a Star Wars AT-AT. Alright, I need to bring this back to a simmer. But there you go. Oh, let me start a fire. Awesome.
Fire?
You know where the fire extinguisher is, don't you?
Yeah, double check.
He's so funny.
Yep.
Okay.
It's still there.
Alright, so while on the last one we kind of made a biscuit mixture and put that on top of the cobbler, this one we're going to do a little different. I think that's the peaches. And we're going to melt some butter in the bottom of this. And then we're going to put the batter in there, and then we're going to put the peaches and blueberries in there, and then we're going to stick that in the oven. So, what I need to do first is get the butter in here. And how much butter do I need? 6 tablespoons, and this is only 3. It's a lot of butter. This is a super yummy meal, but it's not a real healthy one. But you would probably be bored watching me make something healthy. Oh, you can't do seafood and no nuts. That's hard. That's really hard to do. That in there, and now I'm going to make the batter for the other cobbler. I think I'm doing a slightly better job of not making this look like a horror film over here. Alright, so what do I need in this batter? I need a cup of flour. Alright, this is 3/4 of a cup. That's a little too hot. Turn that down a little bit. And my knife is gone. And my hands are sticky. I know, but it sucks when you've got allergies and you can't eat stuff. I just have seasonal allergies, so mine have been really bad, and I try really hard not to do things like, you know, touch my nose. All right, this is 1/8 of a cup. Kind of cheating. That was 3/4. I'm putting a cup in here. So I need another 1/4 cup, which is 2 of those. And then I need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Because this one, because we're putting it on the bottom, it has more baking powder than you would find in a lot of things that are rising, because it's got to kind of rise up around the fruit. So we're going to see. This may actually turn out a little bit more like a clafouti than a cobbler, but either way, still delicious. All right, cup of flour. I need 1/2 cup of sugar. I want to say this is supposed to be brown sugar, even though I didn't write it down. Did you guys see where I put the brown sugar? Oh, there it is. All right. So far I've only heard for ice cream, if I'm making ice cream next week, is ice cream float, which I guess would be kind of a root beer flavor or Dr. Pepper flavor. Any other ideas? Like, what are your favorite ice creams? Don't make it too easy, like chocolate ice cream. I know that, oh, here's Robbie. Shh, don't tell him I said don't make chocolate ice cream. That's his favorite.
I'm a
Is that your favorite?
It's like 1A, 1B between chocolate and vanilla and cookies and cream. I like them all.
I know you do.
It's hard to pick a favorite. I didn't know I was missing ice cream talk.
I'm trying to get an idea of what kind of ice creams they think are their favorite. Rum raisin, all right. French vanilla, that's kind of what we've got going tonight. All right. So I need 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and this is only 1/8 of a cup, so I got to do 4 of these. So 1. 2. Let's see here. Strawberry is your basic answer. Pistachio is your less basic answer. Still sounds a little basic because it's like one flavor. Strawberry, okay. Chocolate with chopped cherries. Robbie's not on board with that. He didn't like cherries. That was 3, right? Were you counting?
I think it was 3.
That's 3. I wasn't asking you.
All right, back to the grill.
Go
back to the grill.
All right. So there's that. Orange sherbet. You know what? That's doing a sherbet instead of an ice cream. That sounds like a good idea. All right, I need some salt in here. And I'm going to add a little cardamom. I love the flavor of cardamom. Just be careful because cardamom is, you know, how we want to kind of balance like fats and acids and salt in our dishes. Cardamom is actually acidic, so I don't want to put a lot in there. Kind of like cream of tartar is too. Blue Moon, the beer?
I also love Blue Moon.
Caramel. Oh, I love anything with caramel too. I'm with you on that one. Okay, wait. I should probably check that since that's the buzzer. Oh. So exciting. Alright, lower oven, make. See, look at this. You see that? So good. Remember, that's like a cheddar biscuity kind of thing on the top. When people tell me they don't like a kind of savory cobbler, I tell them to just kind of imagine like a chicken pot pie, and if you like those kinds of savory pastries, you'll probably like this, unless you don't like, you know, tomatoes. If you don't like tomatoes, you're probably not gonna like that. Not the beer, it's vanilla with a slight berry flavor. I'll have to look it up. That sounds interesting.
Oh, yeah, you're over there now. My bad.
Although I could say that, you know, Blue Moon has that citrus flavor to it. It might make an interesting ice cream. I made there's a couple of cocktails you can make if you make a simple syrup out of an IPA. That's really good. It makes a really refreshing cocktail. All right, so this is just all the dry ingredients for my cobbler. I'm trying to break up the brown sugar that's in there. And I'm gonna bring the pan out of the oven. If the butter is melted, it's almost melted. Gotta wait a second for that. Oh, I also need to add the milk and the vanilla and all that good stuff too. All right, so we're gonna add in about a teaspoon of vanilla. This is 3/4, so I'm gonna put a little bit more in than that. And I'm gonna get some milk. Again, and some half and half. So, Baskin-Robbins watermelon. Not the beer, okay, yeah. Okay, we talked about that. Let's see here. Half a cup of milk. And then 1/4 cup of half and half. I'm gonna tell you, there's a lot of very rich dairy in these recipes that we're doing today. The ice cream was like whipping cream and half. So good. All right, I should probably use a spoon. To mix this up. Maybe I'll do better if I have a beverage. Maybe I should have an adult beverage. What do you guys think? I've got this Riesling. I didn't try it. It's supposed to be pretty good. At least it's in a pretty bottle. So I'll tell you, if I have like apple pie, I love having either a really good vanilla or having a caramel or a cinnamon ice cream with the apple pie. That's really good. But I'm not promising apple pie on Thursday. All right. So my butter is melted there. Hopefully you can see me. I'm going to pour my batter in right on top of the butter. See, where's Robbie when I need him? There he is. Can I get a spatula real quick to get the rest of this out? No, like a baking pan. Get the rest of that out of there. Do you guys have a favorite pie? Because my favorite pie was my grandmother's strawberry rhubarb pie. And there's rhubarb in the stores right now, so that is exciting for me. But I'm so busy. I haven't had time to make a strawberry rhubarb pie. And I guess it's my favorite because it was always such a treat. Like my mom made strawberry pies and apple pies. All right, so here we go. That's on the bottom. I haven't made it this way before, so we'll see how this turns out. I'll pour that on there. And I have blueberries out already. I'm gonna put a few fresh blueberries in there. It's so funny, the batter's already starting to cook. And I'm gonna put it back in the oven. It's gonna go in the oven for a while. Hopefully, I don't think it's gonna be done before we finish today. Did you take your barbecue sauce? Or how's the chicken doing?
Hold on. I think we're at like 127.
127? So when you hit, I don't know. When you hit about 155, 160, you can put it's right there, the barbecue sauce, that glaze.
You want that on both sides?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's that. Apple or key lime, cherry or pumpkin, pecan, chicken pie. That is great. Let's see. Mango with chili powder, ice cream might be good. Yeah, so you could do that. Apple pie is just a general favorite all around. I will never turn down apple pie. Chicken pie is great. I have some great, I like actually using my leftover turkey from Thanksgiving and making turkey pot pies. Pecan, chess, blueberry pie, cherry or pumpkin, apple or key lime, lemon meringue. Lemon meringue, so refreshing. That's so good. Now we're just waiting for things to cook. Oh, I gotta make the slaw, don't I? I have to make slaw. I have one more thing to make. Luckily, I have a bazillion bowls. All right, I'm gonna get rid of this stuff and clean up a little bit. Just got vanilla all over my hands. So I'm gonna make this slaw. And we're gonna start with this. Oh, I need a bigger bowl.
We're gonna need a bigger bowl.
We're gonna need a bigger bowl. All right. So all this is, it's a broccoli slaw. So all this is shredded broccoli and carrots and a little bit of red cabbage. And I'm gonna tell you, when you're doing, like, if you like broccoli, like eating like the florets of it, but not the stems, save the stems and you can make this from the stems because it doesn't matter. It tastes the same and it's actually a really nice texture for the salad. So let's see here. Chicken leek and camembert. That sounds good. I actually have an extra leek in my refrigerator right now. Squash pies with summer squash from the garden. I've done that. That's really good too. And I've got a bunch of squash over there. I pulled one out. Apparently I forgot about it because it was a summer squash that was this big. You like pumpkin pie but not? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Crafty Beamer.
Like, you don't like the crust a whole lot with it? That's kind of me.
That's kind of you.
I like the pie, but
Not the crust.
I can take or leave it.
Dog Wrangler to the rescue. Okay, so this is a very simple thing. Like I said, this is just some shredded broccoli, some shredded carrots, and some shredded red cabbage. Okay, heavy on the, obviously, broccoli, but you know what, if you don't like broccoli, you can also use like a coleslaw mix. You can actually go and buy broccoli slaw mixes already put together for you. So, oh, I see, squash pie was like pumpkin pie, but not quite. That makes more sense. There you go. That makes much more sense. Kind of like sweet potatoes, a little bit like pumpkin pie too. Somewhere I have mayonnaise in this mess of a refrigerator. All right. So the first thing I need for this is about 1/2 cup of mayo. And I'm going to wash this real quick because it's easier if I do it than this. should have been specific about what I wanted you to watch. But I didn't know. But now I do. Alright. So again, this is super slaws. I love slaws with barbecue. They're a nice cooling thing. I prefer mayonnaise-based ones. What do you guys do? You like mayonnaise or vinegar-based slaws better? I grew up on the mayonnaise ones because my dad didn't. A lot of what I learned because my dad didn't like stuff. So we got to eat stuff, like I said, we never had chicken, unless it was fried, and we never had seafood unless it was shrimp cocktail. It was all beef and pork because that's all my dad would eat. All right, this is one of those things that's more to your taste. Mayo, yeah, me too. This doesn't have to be exact. This is more to taste when you're making your own dressings for things.
They hit 150.
The chicken did?
I will be back.
Okay. I think Robbie likes his new thermometer where it's right in front of you and so you don't have to be standing right next to it, huh?
Means I get to talk to you guys more.
I know. That's awesome. All right. Some mayonnaise. We do need some vinegar for this. I am actually going to use, I think I used the apple cider vinegar again. And you know what I did? When I was doing the tomatoes, I think I forgot to put in, something was supposed to have balsamic vinegar today. And I don't know what it is. I think it was supposed to be the tomatoes. So I'll put a couple tablespoons in there. You have to go with mayo. Yeah. And your husband likes the vinegar type. I mean, you're kind of like, it's like the same thing with like barbecue sauce, right? Some people like the tomato-based barbecue sauces, and some people prefer the vinegar type barbecue sauces. And I'm more of a tomato one because that's what I grew up on. But I do have to tell you, the place we went a couple of nights ago, that Sullivan's Barbecue in Louisville, Texas, he had some really killer barbecue sauces he had made. He had one with habanero, and it wasn't too spicy. It had like a really full flavor, and then it was just like, it bit you in the end. And then there was one that was like a bourbon whiskey one, and it was just, it really had this great roundness of flavor, and they were vinegar based, and I was like, those are really the first vinegar based ones. I was like, I might buy that. I didn't, because I just plan on going back some other time. All right, we need some sugar, which I just put over here, of course. Guess it's that kind of day. And I don't need it to be too sweet. And celery seed. Let's not put cardamom in there, that would be bad. Let's put a little celery seed in there. This is, I don't know if you use this for Bloody Marys, but I love celery seed in my Bloody Mary, which I'm currently not drinking. And then we need some salt and pepper in there. Well, good. I like that we're just a group of mayo-liking sauces for our slaws. All right. Definitely needs more salt. A little vinegar. Did I put the vinegar in there, or did I forget? Because it almost tastes like there's none in there. I get too chatty. I thought it was funny when Kelsey was like, can you talk for an hour and a half or 2 hours? Really? A little bit more. And I also put a little more celery seed in there. I also like celery seed in my tuna salad. That's the way my mom used to make it. A little more pepper. And a little more slaw. Robbie's so funny when he does. Oh, look, chicken is ready, apparently. All right, let's get that on there. We're also going to add to this slaw, I'm going to add some sunflower seeds, some roasted sunflower seeds, and also some dried cranberries, but just a handful of those. I'm also going to go turn that alarm off. There we go. So he's out there cooking those chicken thighs. We're almost ready for dinner because our tomato cobbler is done. Our regular cobbler is in the oven. You don't have to put dried cranberries. You could put raisins, or you could put none of that if you just don't happen to like raisins or dried fruit in general, but I think any kind that you have on hand would be good. And then some sunflower seeds, because that would give it another level of crunch. You'll have the crunch from the vegetables and then the crunch from the seeds. And they're roasted. And then I'm going to taste it. I wish you guys could taste it. I wish you could also smell some of the food in here because it smells great. Are you working on an extension that gives us smell-o-vision?
Yes.
You are? You heard that. He said yes. He said it quietly, but he did say yes. He's working on smell-o-vision for you guys. So.
It's in beta testing right now and doesn't work at all.
Did you know that you're...
I think I touched a bone or something. I put it in a different one.
Well, you might need to turn that back on.
I still had it on out there.
Okay. I'm just saying if you want to know the temperature here. It was going off, so I cleared it.
It's still going.
Okay. Hey, this is pretty clean over here where I was cooking. So.
Claire's Baking is
Claire's
ready
Baking with party. Hey, Claire's Baking group. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. I'm Dana, by the way. And behind the camera, when you hear a disembodied voice, that's Robbie. He is my cameraman and also my dishwasher and my grill master today, and also a dog wrangler because there are 2 dogs here. So, and tonight we are kind of finishing up, and we're working on doing some barbecued chicken thighs. And we are with some homemade apricot spicy sweet sauce on them. And we've got a tomato cobbler. You want to show them the tomato? This is a little hot for me to pick up. So we have a tomato cobbler with lots of caramelized onions in it. I've got a peach and blueberry cobbler in the oven. And we've got a broccoli slaw. So welcome. Welcome.
The chicken's almost ready out there.
Awesome. Like the backsplash mosaic. Oh, thank you, Claire's Baking. Thank you. Yeah, I kind of did this, we were looking at tiles for the kitchen, and then I picked up this one that's got metal and glass and stone in it, and the guy thought I was nuts, but that's okay because I like it, and that's all that really matters. So. I don't know, Claire's Baking, are you a neater cook than I am? Because, like, this is what my kitchen looks like when I'm done.
See if I can get
But it's okay even if I have a lot of dishes because I don't have to do them. That's one of Robbie's great contributions. What? You're gonna go see the chicken? Okay. You have way too many dishes right now. Well, I always feel better when I see other people cooking in their kitchen and they're everywhere, or they can't find things, or because that's me. And if you've been here a little earlier, I can't find words for anything today either. So, but Robbie is my part-time full-time dishwasher, actually. He actually washes the dishes almost all the time. I'm very, very grateful for that. So, that's you too? Yeah, like, I feel so good when I'm like watching somebody like Alton Brown or anybody else like Michael Simon or somebody, and they're like, I can't find this in my kitchen. Or I thought I had this and I don't. So, can you get a Robbie, please? You can. I'll message you where the store where you can go pick one up.
You'll loan me out?
I'll loan you out. That sounds really bad. Yeah, awesome. So a grill cam, yeah. And I have only Robbie to thank for that, because I do the menus and the cooking and the grocery shopping and the getting the kitchen ready for stuff, but he is like the guy who has figured out how to do the cameras and the emotes and all of that stuff. So I kind of work on the creative end and he works on the other end of it. And he's did you need a plate for the chicken?
That would help.
It's the grill plate. Do I need a grill plate dance now?
I think
No.
you just did.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like the weird creative one, and he's like the stable numbers tech guy. So it's a good mix. Sometimes I'm like, be more creative, but overall it's a really good team. I'm thankful. So you came towards the end here, so we're waiting for stuff to get off the grill. Let's see. So we've got the cobbler. I've got cobbler in the oven, and he's got the mobile cam, so I can't take you over there to see it, but we'll do that in a minute. Because what I did, so Claire's baking, and all the people from over there, Robbie and I went out to dinner about a week ago, and it's peach season, and so we got peach cobbler, and it tasted so good, and there was like this flavor, and I couldn't quite place it. I kept thinking it must be some sort of alcohol, but I couldn't quite place it. And so when the chef came over and we talked to him, he said he had put Riesling in the cobbler. So we took our peaches and our blueberries, and we let them cook in some Riesling and sugar before we put them into the oven. So we're gonna see if we got it. We'll see if we got it. But now I have like this open bottle of Riesling, so maybe I need a glass of wine. So I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping I get close to what he made, because it was really good. It was like this huge thing. It was like this big. Who brings a dessert out that's that big? And the two of us, and we're like, we're never going to eat all of that. And they said, you're going to eat all of it, and we ate all of it. I'm kind of ashamed to say all of that. Ooh, look at our chicken off the grill. That's really good. Are you hungry? You have got to be hungry. Yes?
When the rest of your phone from outside.
Okay. The grill cam is shooting an empty grill now, apparently. So there is that. Yes, have some? I think I will. All right. Hey. Oh. And for anybody who's new, this is Rocky. And his nickname is the Velociraptor because he is always checking for weaknesses in the system. Always. Hey, get down. That is what he does. It's still well, don't burn yourself. That's my job. It's my job to burn myself. All right, hey, do you want to take the mobile cam real quick before I start plating up our food so we can see how the cobbler's looking in the oven?
Yes.
Ooh, look at that.
Hang on.
I'm going to have to clean the oven afterwards.
Here we go.
It's looking pretty good.
Looking pretty good.
But it's kind of a weird cobbler. Hey, Are you guys watching him? Tell him to get down. Get down. Because it had us put the batter on the bottom. So, do you just want one piece of chicken
Yes.
to start
please.
with? Okay. Me too. So this is a bone-in skin on chicken thighs, which I don't normally do because I try to be a little bit healthier. But you know, for the stream, it's not supposed to be healthy. It's just supposed to be delicious. So, yes, Rocky is always very motivated. And I gave him a great big old bone before we started too. Where's your bone, buddy?
That's not the same as fresh chicken off the grill, though.
It's not the same as the food you're eating, Mom. The food you're eating, what's
With that
better?
glaze sauce.
Did you want a beer with your barbecue?
That's an option?
Of course, it's always
Did you want the
an
sandwich
option.
last night? I'll grab you one.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and have a glass of this Riesling since it's open. It's not typically what I go for, but yeah. So this cobbler, it's one of my favorites, and it's caramelized onions and some garlic and tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes, and then the topping has like cheddar cheese in it as well. It's so good, so good. Okay, sauce, extra sauce. Get down. What are you doing, buddy?
What type of glass was you?
And there's that sauce. All right, now we're gonna eat in front of you. Claire's Baking, do you eat in front of everybody? We do.
I mean, if you didn't, they would think the food's bad. Maybe.
All right, I'll put that there. It's the chicken. It's anything. It doesn't matter. Cheese, cookies. So she does eat in front of everybody. That's cool. You got to, because how else do you know the food's good, right? Just a bite though. We usually only do a few bites, but tonight we're waiting for the cobbler.
Waiting on the cobbler.
So we make it a little bit more. And we, that one's yours. Oh, it's the finest Riesling with the screw top cap. I don't think most of you were here when I told this story before. Robbie's okay with me telling it, but
Maybe.
he was trying to open up a bottle of wine with a wine opener, and he said, "Man, this is really tough. I can't get this. This cork is really stuck," and it's because it was a screw top wine.
I got it though.
He got it open.
I still got it open.
With a
It
with
was
a wine
once
opener.
I got it open and I realized my mistake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
Was it good times?
It's one of those mistakes you only make once.
Are you sure?
So far.
Oh yeah, there's the oreganos in that cobbler as well. I still love that. Cobbler's so good.
Napkins.
Napkins. So it's just got those nice caramelized onions in there, and you know how much I like caramelized onions after we made those burgers, those pork burgers with the barbecued caramelized onions. And then I love this sauce, although we'll see how hot it is because I actually amped it up by putting a habanero in there along with the other chilies that are usually in there. Did you taste it? The chicken yet?
No.
No? Mm.
That's a good sign though. You seem to like it.
Mm-hmm.
Hot?
But it is spicy.
Oh, spicy. I was thinking
spicy.
temperature hot.
Yep.
Well, at least you didn't touch your eyes with the peppers.
Yet.
Yet.
I haven't done it yet. One of my bad habits is touching my eyes after I've cut peppers. And being in pain. But, you know, I don't know. 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 I don't know And
Oh,
since tonight was an,
It's really good.
I mean, like a poblano and a jalapeno is bad enough. And we had Fresno chilies tonight, but man, with a habanero, I can't even imagine if I do that. I will not be in a good
Pain.
mood. I will not be in a good mood. Mm. Mm.
This is really good.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
I guess I haven't had a really spicy bite yet, but I do like a lot of spice. So.
I mean, I can chop up another pepper and just sprinkle it over your plate. I put a habanero in the sauce. Mm. So, let's see. So, I don't know, you know, we would have to hang around for a really long time for that to come out of the oven. But we did make our ice cream. I'll show you our ice cream that we made because we're kind of proud of it. Because I gave Robbie one of those balls that you shake for ice cream, and he likes this better because it's a KitchenAid attachment, so he doesn't have to do this for 45 minutes.
Maybe we'll do the other way on stream sometime, but it's a lot of work and it's loud.
You want to see? Does that look good? Okay.
That'll help if it's too spicy.
Yeah. Ice cream. This is ice cream that's made with eggs. So we did a custard-based ice cream today. You know what?
Thanks for following Claire's Baking
Thank you, Claire's Baking.
and Arcwind 12 months ago.
Hey, thank you guys. Thanks. And thanks for coming. All right. It tastes a little different when it's got the hot sauce on it because I accidentally dropped it on my plate.
Or did you just come up with something genius?
You want to taste it? It's really good. It was when we got it out of it tasted really good when we got it done, but it was still a little not quite frozen enough, so
It's ready to
I
go
wanted
now.
to see that. Mint chocolate chip or cookies and cream. Oh yeah, so everybody from Claire's Baking, I was trying to take suggestions on what flavor of ice cream to make next. I mean, I like cookies and cream, Joyce.
This vanilla's easy. Clearly, we've already done it.
And by we,
I tasted some of it.
you did taste some of it, and you cleaned the ice cream
and I
thing.
cleaned it.
Afterwards.
I think that includes we, maybe.
Okay.
It's not we when it goes wrong. Then it's just,
Then it's just me.
then I'll let you take off.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you.
Or it'll be the other way around. You'll just blame me.
No, I just blame you for getting rocky.
For getting rocky.
Mm-hmm.
The dog I had no input on? What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Blueberry cheesecake. Mmm, that sounds good. What's your favorite flavor of cheesecake? Because I know you love cheesecake.
Probably strawberry.
So like a strawberry cheesecake ice cream? So
Or
Arkwin
even-
says,
Or even blueberry. That would be really good too.
so Arkwin says they would make a small crustless baked cheesecake and cut it into pieces and then swirled in blueberry compote into the ice cream, which sounds delicious. In fact, that would be really good on top of this peach blueberry cobbler too. That would be a good one for that. It's a good idea.
How long do you think we have on the cobbler? Since there's not like a timer going or anything.
It's supposed to be 50 minutes. I think I'm gonna put it in at about a quarter after.
So maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Are you making
No,
a
no, no,
comment
I-
on my
I-
fact that I didn't put a timer?
I've been in and out. I don't know how long we had on that.
Well, if you hand me the thingamabobbers.
The thingamabobbers.
Yeah. Words.
There you go.
Oh, it's in the top of it. Okay.
Yes.
Let me see.
I suppose I could go grab the camera too.
You know what? I really think it's done. I mean, because it had already started, because of the way it was made, it had already started baking before I put it in the oven. Really. Here, I'll trade with you because you are taller by over a foot. And I have to clean my oven after this. Robbie is a better cameraman than me, even though my first major was radio, TV, film. But look at that.
That's really good.
It kind of reminds me more of a, I don't know about you guys. It reminds me almost more of like a cliff. What do I need to do?
No,
this?
no, we're back on here now.
Oh. You took away my power. It almost feels more like almost a clafouti.
A what?
Clafouti.
Are you making up words again?
I am. So let's see here. Reduce some champagne in a pan. Added some to the ice cream base. Ooh, strawberry champagne ice cream. Now that sounds like something I could get on board with.
All different.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna make us a little thing of this with some ice cream on it.
I just heard skipping to dessert, and that sounds good to me.
Skipping to dessert. That is what we're doing.
Life's short, guys. Eat dessert first.
I mean, you did that in when we went to St. Louis.
We did. We went to Ted Drew's before dinner. So it's just too good. Do you need help?
And that was the first night, and then he thought that was how St. Louisans ate, like they had dessert before they had dinner. Because he's like, are we going to Ted Drew's? And I said, we were going to dinner. And he's like, but we haven't gone to Ted Drew's yet. All right. Woo. You know what? I think I need a spoon. I think a spoon will work better. And I'm kind of out of spoons, but we're going to make it work.
You think you'll need the ice cream scoop too?
Oh, yeah, ice cream scoop would be good. You know what's really funny too is that Robbie said, I'm going to do this with you, but I'm not going to be on camera and I'm not going to say anything at all. And I said, ha 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 ha, we'll see about that. Ooh, look how nice that is. Did you see how nice
Did it work a little better than this one?
that was just to taste it. All right, hang on. Let me put that there. Put this over here. I guess I could go to my spoon jar too.
To the spoon jar.
Spoon jar. Awesome. So let's see here. What are you saying, Joyce? Mom would always put a cookie sheet under things like cobbler. I know. I didn't do that this time.
What, just in case? Or?
Yeah, just in case it runs over. I always put it under pies and stuff, unless I don't because I forget. It's dessert time.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I'll make that again. I need a peach. What do you think?
I think that's on par with
It's
the
not
really good one that we had.
Mm-hmm. It's
last
not
week.
quite the same.
Or it's not the same, but it's just as good.
Mm-hmm. That one had more of the stuff on the top and not coming up from the bottom. So that's really good.
If anything, I like this better because I'm not having to cut my little slices of peach into smaller pieces to eat it.
That was the biggest problem with that. Was the only thing I didn't like about that cobbler is that the pieces of the peach were so big, and so it was kind of hard to eat.
Delicious. It was just a little hard to eat. Yeah.
Delicious, really delicious. We ate the whole thing.
This is delicious and easy to eat, which is why it's going to be gone. Oh, bless you. Are you allergic to the dessert?
I didn't want to sneeze on camera. There we go.
Well, good job.
Thank you. Thank you. I did it. All right. So, anyways, Ted Drew's is always so packed but delicious. Absolutely. I have to, every time I go to St. Louis, I have to go to Ted Drew's at least once. But you know what's funny is I used to order like the really big concretes. And now I'm like, I get the mini and I'm like completely build up after that.
I don't even
Like
think
that.
I can do more than a medium now.
Yeah. Yeah. So Bucket 5000, do you have a favorite one? A favorite concrete when you're there? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Arquind. And look, I only sneezed once. I usually sneeze in threes. So there's that. My favorite concrete is I'm kind of skipping all over the place because that's kind of how my mind has been this week. My favorite concrete was always the Heath bar because I love toffee. So do you like this? We're eating it's like we had to take a break from dinner to eat dessert. But I bet that Robbie will have dessert after dinner as well.
I mean, yeah, she's right. She knows me.
You want to make ice cream now? I know.
It'll be my reward for doing all the dishes.
That's fair. That's fair.
That'll be, some incentive to.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. It's been worse.
Crafty Gamer, your favorite candy bar is a Heath bar too. Yay! It's mine. It's terrible for you, but it's just the best. I don't think my kids ever got to eat the Heath bars that they would get at Halloween because I think I stole them all. I was like, let me look through your candy, make sure everything's okay.
Well, she's admitted it now on camera, so
Yeah.
there's evidence.
I know.
If there was any doubt.
Thank you, Joyce. I know, that's what I was saying. I usually sneeze in threes, but I did not that time.
Oh no,
Well,
this dessert's almost gone. We might have to make another one.
I don't think there's enough.
Not right now. I'm just giving you trouble.
Well, guys, so I have a lot of great ideas for ice cream for next time. Oh, the turtle concrete at Ted Drew's is really good too.
Oh,
You're right.
I don't think I've tried that one yet.
Yeah, that one's really good too. And so next on Thursday we're going to be doing the oven brisket. I'm going to be, because it's from my mom's. So every other Tuesday I go over here. Let's see if Robbie will pick up a camera and show you.
Hang on.
Over here.
Where are we going?
You're going over here to the table where my mom's recipe files are.
Okay.
That are just sitting out. So every other Thursday, I dig through my mom's recipe files over here and I pick out some recipes, some that I've tried, some that I haven't. And now we're back over here.
Well, it's almost like he was waiting for us to walk away.
I know. Buddy.
Earning
There's
that
another
name of
one.
laughter.
There's another dog too, if you're new here. But he's sleeping on stairs. He's not a troublemaker. Anyway, so we're gonna do an oven brisket and we're gonna do some baked beans from scratch. Those are two things that my mom used to make all the time. So these are things that I have had. And I think I'm gonna do a vegetable gratin. That'll be my contribution to it because I have lots of squash and zucchini coming out of my garden. And some sort of ice cream for dessert. We'll do a custard-based ice cream now that I know that I can make it right. Yeah, I have all those recipes, and my mom loved to cook, and my grandmother loved to cook, and so there's some of my grandmother's recipes in there. And one of my favorite things that I may have Kelsey talk about when she's here in a couple of weeks is that my mom would actually, when Kelsey went off to school, my mom would send her recipes and would send her an ingredient that all those recipes had in common. So it might be Chinese 5-spice, or it might be balsamic vinegar or something. And she also did it with my niece, I believe. And so the two of them told me that they both had shoe boxes full of my mom's recipes in them that she had sent them. So this is kind of my homage to my mom and my grandma, is to go through this and pick out recipes and make sure we keep some of the traditions going. So you keep bugging your mom to write them down. See, what my mom hated about me is that I don't write down a whole lot of recipes, and when I've had friends ask me for recipes, a lot of times I'm like, I don't remember what I put in that. So my mom was definitely, there are actual notes. There's actual dates when she would make it for the first time with notes like, Dave didn't like the sauce, or it's
More
Kelsey's
sauce.
birthday, you know, or the kids really liked it, but Dave did not. My dad was a pain in the butt. Wouldn't eat leftovers, wouldn't eat chicken, wouldn't eat seafood, wouldn't eat vegetables. He'd eat a bite or two, but that was it. So that is what we're doing this Thursday. It's my mom's recipe file. That's what I picked out to do this week, and it'll be 2 days before my birthday too.
I was gonna say it's also a pre-birthday stream.
It's a pre-birthday stream. So hope to see you guys there. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for the raid.
Thanks for joining me in my
Follows
kitchen. I love that. I love that. You guys take care and have a good week.
See you guys. Thanks for watching.